Shidduchim podcast.
I love the chevra. I'm not against the chevra.
You wrote that in your...
I just enjoy like my personal life and my personal time. Like that's what I enjoy. I don't just necessarily...
You like the word chevra, like you write that in your magazine, like enjoy a cigar with the chevra in the fall with the dead leaves on the ground. Like go with the chevra out to your favorite bar.
Because like you have to make whatever you can just kind of convolute from Goy town to Jewish, town, just go for it. Make it happen.
Yeah, I hear that.
We're recording. We're recording now. And Avery appeared.
Vayavo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. Woo! Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening I am joined by Jared. Jared, welcome back to the show. Jared, are you giving your true identity now that you're on camera?
Absolutely not. I was on camera last time.
He's like, yeah, okay, but we have it from my collection. And what did you go by last time? I forgot.
Last time I went by Yosef.
Oh, you went by Yosef
this time?
Okay, Yosef, welcome. Welcome. Who's this? Some guy's calling? Do I know that guy?
You should.
You should.
Well, you want him?
Yeah, should we throw him on?
You can bring him on. You just have to forward the call to my cell phone.
Oh. Hold on a second.
Conference me in. We can connect him. Okay, we're ostensibly bringing in some guest here. All right, we have a first caller of the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
it's not bad. 80 episodes.
Call my cell phone. Here, yeah. See, you got it. Okay. All right. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Nobody Talks Shidduch podcast.
Oh, I just want to add something. Like, what do you guys think about shidduch resumes? Don't you think they limit people?
We think that's amazing. Do you hear me, by the way? I don't know. I have to put it on mute.
Yeah, you could.
You really should have callers all the time. That would be like a nice addition. Like, Joel from Monroe. What do you think?
The problem is like I do so much already. I can't just like video and this and prep the episodes and then it's just too much.
I hear. Did you hear my question though?
No, what was your question? Caller, what's your name, caller?
Yisrael Zalmano with Zelmo.
Oh, he's giving his entire name. Okay, Zelmo. How many girls have you gone out with that you wish you never went out with to begin with?
That wasn't my question. That's your question, so you should answer it.
Oh, I should answer it? I'd probably say 7.
Okay. All right, so now you want to get back to my question?
Yeah, well,
now that you
go ahead.
got your question out there?
Go ahead.
My question is, don't you think that sending out shidduch resumes limit yourself?
That's a good. Where's Avery for this question?
Eating supper back there. Yep.
That's a great question, caller. God bless you. And we're going to answer this, during the show. So that's a great question. Good thing is that we have other topics to talk to. All right. How the extracurriculars didn't help us, or did it? Today I'm joined by these two gentlemen, shidduch vets, have been in the business for astutely long time. This episode, we're going to discuss how the extracurriculars help or didn't help in our shidduch journey. Growing up in the Jewish community, we are raised young to commit to duty, family, and community. The propensity for young Jewish people to be involved in the Jewish community it's rampant. There are hundreds of organizations that we get involved in. Looking back now at this age, did it help? Did it help? Did it do its job? Was it a resume filler? Was it supposed to be pure chesed? Gentlemen, I will put it to you. What do you have to say?
All right, so fortune favors the bold. Shua hesitated, so oh shoot, you have to cut out that.
Cut out the Shua. Jared. Okay, Jared. Okay, Yashka.
Yeah, so Yashka hesitated. But, besides for the classic of Camp Simcha and Kids of Courage, I think that...
Well, that's on my list,
Oh,
We'll get there.
I have
We'll get there.
all the organizations I have here, if you want to add, NCSY, Chabad, Pesach programs, Beis Medrash, Yeshiva Learning, Chesed programs, Camp, Israel program, Tomchei Shabbos, HASC, Chai Lifeline, Kids of Courage, Sepharim Sale, Yeshiva University, Landers, etc. What else could we add on there?
I think it's a pretty solid
It's
number.
a pretty solid list.
Yeah.
I'm such a
You
solid
could say
list
walking
kinda
up and
guy.
down Reed's Lane if you're like a teenager in Far Rockaway.
Yeah, what's the equivalent for
Shar
Passaic?
Yoshu,
I don't
They
know.
do
we have-
those programs. They do those
I
programs.
guess show up to aisle 1 on your scooter now.
Yeah, we have like Falstaff Road in Baltimore. Like that's the best it gets. It's not much.
What do you
but
mean
it's
you have
something.
Mama Leia's on Motzei Shabbos?
I was never that cool.
Right, okay.
Are those? But those aren't. I mean, are those extracurriculars? Like extracurriculars are this stuff. So
The
Yosef,
stuff
you were
outside
saying-
school. So I'll say yeah. So I did a calculation with my family one time. I think I've moved over 11 times in my life, right? Which
Not
means
bad.
that each time I go someplace, I've had to start new, meet new people. So when you say extracurricular, a lot of times it's like we're not talking about being super involved with like a Chesed organization.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about things outside of school that brought in who you are as a person in a lot of different ways. Now, it doesn't need to be seriously so complicated. Like for camp, I went to Reim, Maganav, Hauer, Banim,
Wow.
Simcha. So each place I go there, and each place I went, most of the time, I didn't know anybody, which is kind of weird and strange. Long story, too boring for the podcast.
Tell us. Go.
But
I have
it's
all
like,
day.
you know what? Oh, I have one friend going there. Oh, okay, let's check that out. Oh, I have like one friend going there. Oh, okay, I'm bored of the last place. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe an experience junkie. And like once I've been to one place like one too many times, it's like, all right, time to move on. But that forced me to learn how to make new friends, meet new people, get acclimated to uncomfortable environments. And I think it was a pretty great learning experience.
So fair to say you had quite a quaint experience with these, extracurriculars.
Yeah, I'll say. Although when you first said extracurriculars for the podcast, I thought you were going a whole separate direction.
What do you think?
What did you think? Well, by the way, it could get interpreted to that. So
Right.
it's
So I meant
only
like,
fair.
like there's dating, then like there's extracurricular part of dating.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you meant.
Like what? What does that mean? What does that mean? What is that? Oh, what are you saying? Like back end hookup alleys? I don't know.
Something like that.
Jared,
Yes.
you are a extracurricular kind of guy. I look at you and I say, this guy dresses like he volunteered at some sick kids camp and went to took care of special needs children on the weekend. That's what kind of guy you remind me of. What do you have to say? Like, am I getting it right?
That's the vibe I give off.
I don't know.
He volunteers with sick kids on the weekends. What's the...
Avery, you just close the door.
Go ahead.
Avery, just to close the door for the bathroom.
We're not cutting anything, by the way.
We're not.
Take it back a step. I missed the question.
Wait, go back. Okay.
What's
Cut.
the question? One more time. The question is what?
The question was the
about
curriculars. Did they help you?
In life?
No, in the shidduch core.
See, it depends what you call help. If the end goal is getting married, but it's that or bust, then you could say if you're not married, everything didn't help. Or if someone were to get divorced, then it didn't help. Right? Let's just say. But on the flip side, if it put you in a better position,
We could put it up. We could put it up.
I guess so. It's
Or you
different-
could go down. You can go
this
down
is okay.
also.
I think so. I mean, I don't.
What
do
have you
much-
done? Have you done anything?
Well, I ran Zooms for a long time.
Oh, right. You were the Zoom guy.
I got the
People,
ba-dum
by the
button.
way-
No, I'm kidding.
By the way, we'll give you something. And he ran all the Zooms, and he found his Bashert, and they all, ended up happily ever after.
All of his basharts.
All of them.
All of them.
How many are there?
There's
20?
there's 7. You
7?
start with 7, yeah. And then each year you're in shidduch.
You got to
7
figure at
more.
least half of yours are married at this point.
Married or like got married, got divorced, got married
Back on the
again,
market.
Back on the market for the third time. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, extracurricular. I'm still not sure what the question is, but yeah.
Sure. Let me spin this around to you. You're a pretty
Jared.
popular guy. Sorry, Jared. Gosh. I'm going to write that down in big letters. Jared. He went to Subway and he came back with a different name.
Honestly,
So
We're doing our best without you.
I know.
How? Wait, no, don't move it. Don't move it. Don't move it. We're gonna take a break right after this. Hey everybody, it's IJ from the Nobody Talks Shidduch podcast. I want to take a moment to tell you about our new affiliate program. Inflation's up, some economic problems. Here you go. Here's a few bucks off on your businesses or personal life or just for fun. I wanted you to take a look at shidduchpodcast.com under affiliates, where you can get 10% off for starting your first website, a few bucks for your graphics created with Canva, or just hire someone to do this with Fiverr. Check this out at shidduchpodcast.com and click the affiliates link. Come here.
Sponsored by Adopt a Shadchan.
Come in here.
Thought-provoking conversation
We're a bunch of scholars. What can we say?
hasn't captivated the audience so well. Jesus Christ.
Avery satisfied? Yes. Avery satisfied. Okay, good.
are we still recording?
Not
We
quite
are.
sure. Oh.
Oh, okay.
We are recording.
The thing is, he keeps this video
Okay.
up all week.
We're back. Okay.
He walks by.
Wait, no. You had Mike
Odd
headphones.
part about this.
Wow, you're so... Like, I would want to
And
hire
Avery's back.
this guy. Such a hard
Avery,
worker.
welcome back to the show. We were just in a scintillating conversation.
Talk about a co-host that seems burnt out, by the way. He missed the first 15 minutes.
Well, he was busy, making sure the girls are lined up, waiting outside after the show.
They're lined up.
Are they lined up? We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. There you go. I can hear myself. You're too loud.
Is it too loud?
Yeah.
Which one are you? 2?
2.
I don't know. Is that lower? Oh, that's me. Is it better now? Who is
Jesus
that?
Christ. Love that guy.
Okay, wait. Oh, here. There you go. All right, that's lower. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The women are lined up.
Okay, great.
With eggs.
Avery, welcome to the
Pitchforks.
show. Avery's here. People are like not getting their money's worth here.
It's
Okay.
weird when he does that in the morning. Welcome to the show. Avery's
Right.
here, and this podcast isn't even
Right, in
on.
the
Good
morning.
morning. Rounds of applause.
Right, I'm just sitting here with
Welcome.
Narrating your whole morning.
There, yeah.
Avery wakes up.
He's
Clearly
walking
had
down
a bad
those
night's
steps
sleep.
right there.
He's thinking about everything that's gone wrong in his life.
very strange.
He's going on,
I
thinking
think-
about every single bad thing he's ever done, his childhood, high school. It didn't get better. He thought it would. As he trudged to the coffee machine, he thought, maybe coffee.
Yes.
Maybe that will somehow trick my brain into
then there
thinking
was a slight
something
grimace.
isn't so terrible.
A slight grimace hit his face as he saw Isaac panic, because he was late for work and had
But
to
he
run
was-
back and pick up his coffee.
Isaac
mate.
works?
But he reveled in that grimace of his
I
roommate.
have to go
Finally,
to the cheese store and just watch all the cute 5 Towns mommies come in and out. It's a full-time job, people.
When you say it like that,
And it's a wonder that he's not married.
it is a bit of a wonder.
Well, I'll tell you why, because I had so many extracurriculars. So my extracurriculars growing up, let me tell you, okay? I was somebody who worked at this farm sale, who did NCSY, who went to camp, who went to the good camp, Camp Yesharim, Camp Dora Golding, Camp Mommy. I did it all. And where did these extracurriculars get me? Well, they filled this up on the shidduch resume.
right.
Oh, they did. But I was left with pencil shreds in my hands. They didn't deliver anything. And that's what the episode's
They
about.
say that by the Modernish, that the farm sale is a good place for guys and girls to meet.
Oh, for the modernish.
Yeah,
there's such a difference.
like a really stark YU guy and stern
You can
girl.
pass.
They-
First of all, you can pass for a why you're Stark.
you think so? They're like opening a safer. Like, so what did you think about that?
Have you ever been to this farm sale?
Yeah, once.
Oh,
I was
one time?
bored out of my mind.
How old were you when you went?
I was a
Mike?
kid.
Oh, a child. Oh, of course. It's
Could we go this year? When
Yeah,
is
the
when
it?
whole
is it?
point. The whole
You wanna
point
go?
of it.
Let's do the podcast live there.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. Like, we're gonna be like Nachum Siegel,
Siegel,
like, sitting there.
Camp Simcha.
We're at the Svarim sale. Oh wow, great.
Have they started selling nonfiction yet? And you'll let me know. Then I'll go. Okay.
The Torah is the Torah is real, Avery. Good Avery.
voice
Good
of-
Avery. You're Asav. You are. It doesn't
There you
remind you
go.
of Asav. Like,
Burnt
if
out,
Asav came
burnt
back-
out, and
took
more
him-
burnt out made a podcast.
It took him a second.
That's it.
Okay, let's get back on script here. Okay, Avery, some of these extracurriculars, right? You've actually, I think, done absolutely nothing in the extra.
No,
you
God.
learned in yeshiva.
Not even. No.
Okay, but you were in yeshiva.
I did learn, yes.
Okay, how did that help your shidduch aspirations?
It did absolutely, shidduch aspirations. It did nothing for me in life. Not only was
Amazing.
I
I'm happy
not
to hear that.
involved in extracurriculars, my mother didn't let me get involved in extracurriculars
Ooh.
because the people who got involved in extracurriculars were gay. And I'm quoting her.
And
she
do
said
you-
they
do-
were gay.
Well,
Do
she
you-
had a
you
very
can't get
small
involved.
mind.
I have a
Well-
question about that. First of all, I don't necessarily disagree with her on that one. Do you attribute your heterosexuality to your inability to play sports?
Oh, I attribute
That's
it
a great question.
to No, it has more to do with my inability to empathize with anyone other than Osama bin Laden, Hitler, Stalin.
Oh,
Because
again.
those are the people that we need to obviously promote in life.
Yeah.
Donald
So-
Trump,
Words was-
everybody.
Everyone
first
else
side.
is homosexual.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like if you have like a
The
normal
word- the word
healthy
is lame.
relationship with the world around, it's
yeah.
We're gonna get flagged.
You know
so
what
everyone,
expression?
We love
you know what
all
expression
people.
I learned 2
We're
weeks
just letting
ago?
everyone
Yeah.
know.
Helicopter mom. You know what that means?
I've
The
heard
mom
this,
that's
yeah.
always on top
That's-
of you. Like so, right?
That's what I
Yeah.
would say.
I didn't have
so
that. No, I
Avery's
didn't- I
represented.
did not have
oh,
that.
you're not. Okay.
Incorrect. No.
Well, let me tell you something. I went to a freaking singles event the other week in Teaneck. Everyone saw that one coming around. Okay, you saw that one that was being promulgated through the shidduch WhatsApp groups. So I went, and after the event, literally the parents of the girls who coordinated this show up and literally like start putting things away.
That's adorable.
And I'm like, at what age do you grow the heck up and like not call your parents to clean up after a shidduch event that you made? At what age?
Why would you not want that?
I mean, wouldn't you want a mother-in-law
just
who cleans
weird.
up after you though?
A mother what?
A mother-in-law who cleans up after you.
Whatever I get, you know?
Only in the bedroom.
I mean, if they're if they're like, if they're paying,
Guy.
if I'm getting a stipend, then they can do whatever they want to me. You know, just anything, just no kinky stuff. But like,
So much editing.
so much editing. I can't.
I don't think there's any
you think they
episode.
could afford an editor?
We have a
You think
start.
they're paying someone to edit this?
We're
There's
we're
a start.
drinking here.
There's welcome to Nobody Talks Shidduchim.
Okay, can we get back to the episode? Here we go.
All right, can I reintroduce for Shua?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
So, Shua,
Jared.
you're. Oh my!
You wrote it down.
I need this napkin right in front of my eyes.
Have some more scotch.
Wow. Yeah, I
This
think that
guy.
might have been my issue. So,
We're relying
Jared,
on this guy.
we're talking about extracurricular activities.
Oh my God.
So you've been single in Shidduchim for a couple years. You're involved with a lot of or some Chesed organizations. People know you from a lot of different ways. You've been involved with, Klal Yisrael in general. Do you think that's helped you or hurt you regarding Shidduchim?
Back to the original thing. If the end goal, if it's not married or bust, I mean, if there is a middle, I would say it's helped. It's probably opened a couple of doors here and there that wouldn't have been open otherwise. Probably stopped me from going out with a lot of people that wouldn't have been shaykh, but I got to know through X, Y, or Z. And does that answer the question?
Yeah, that was it. End of show. Great, everybody.
thank you.
Woo! No, first of all, I want to define some of these organizations. I think I want to certainly leave out Camp Simcha, Simcha Day Camp. Sorry, Camp Simcha, unbelievable
Why
organization.
are we leaving that out? You know how many
No, I'm leaving it out, like, that's a
that
real
is
place.
so special. You worked in Camp Simcha. You're like, I was a waiter.
Oh, that's
You
true.
kidding?
You're
No.
right.
No, that's the
so
worst
wait,
part
we have-
about
we
getting
have-
older is that
This
like,
is good.
I don't put
We're
camps
jousting.
anymore on my like shidduch resume, and like it's so sad.
Does there come a point where you stop caring about yeshivas and seminaries? Like, where do you go to seminary? That was 9 years ago. Like, yeah, it's a good point.
It's still on my resume. I don't know. When does that leave?
It's like, do you listen to
It's-
Gayish music? I don't know. Like, I'm 29.
That's like, by the way, that's the first thing I do now. I'm telling you, this is the trick to like totally like throwing.
Oh, we're about to hear the trick.
You're
by the way.
throwing that
By the way,
rope.
Write it down.
Yeah, write it down.
Yosef,
write
write
it
it
down.
down.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so you got the rope, right? You're roping. Look, this is the rope, and you're throwing it, and you're pulling this one in like, You tell them, I love Goyish music, and then you're in. You're in.
You say Gayish or you say secular? Because
I say not
if a girl
Jewish.
today
Whatever.
said I love Gayish music, I'm like, okay, you started listening to
You're like,
Nickelback yesterday.
nah.
I think on Shua's point about which
Look who's getting us. that
Which-
topic.
On Jared's point, yes.
Shua Jared, sorry.
At this point,
Jared,
I think we should go.
Whatever.
into it.
Just, okay,
Honestly,
let's go.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
by the way,
Sell.
everyone he had a name change. All right, perfect.
Yeah, well, on whatever your name's point is, on whatever your, on what were you saying that in seminaries and yeshivas, at what point does it stop mattering where you went?
Right.
I think at some point, maybe the first 5, 6, 7 years after you were in a yeshiva or seminary, you think of it fondly and positively, like, yeah, I went to
Right.
KBY, I went to OJ, had this great rabbi, we went out for meals and did all this cool shit, whatever. And then at a certain point, you start relating to the trauma.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, yeah, we were both. Oh, you went to that Malchus rabbi's house? Oh my God, there were so many people there, and the meals.
Let me ask you a
were
question.
disgusting, and
Let's just say
that's-
for
it sort of
argument's sake.
switches.
Let's say for argument's sake, you're like
Cognitively
32,
changed.
right?
Yeah.
And your old yeshiva, let's just
Argue
say
that.
Center, is made like a
Let's say.
Shabbaton in the mountains.
Yeah.
You and your friend who are like the same age decided we're going to go to the Shabbaton from yeshiva we were in 12 years ago. Does that mean you're still emotionally attached? And you spend the Shabbos in the mountains with that yeshiva?
That's a good
all in the
question.
same house and like...
One would have to venture to seek within themselves to know the answer.
Yosef, what do you think?
But I think there's a strong.
I think
leaning.
something that guys in Shidduchim have as a major benefit over girls is that even if you're not really part of yeshiva, at the end of the day, you still have a yeshiva that you consider yourself a part of. You have a rebbe. You have some sort of community that's based on the religious world that you could attach yourself to, whether it's close or very loosely defined. But at least you could say, yeah, I'm a centers guy. I'm a bass guy. I'm a medrash guy. And girls, like, they don't say they're a Sharfman's girl, like, for more than a year out of that. A year or two out, like, be like, Mechala, sure. Wow, great. You
Good
know,
times
you're-
12 years ago.
You went to Mechala, you probably have a PhD in something. Congratulations. But, you know,
The DPT. That's a big
You ever
one.
think
the DPT.
how a girls' class reunion, like 10 years later, like now this girl's 28, it's like half shaitos, half not. It makes it a little awkward. A bunch of guys like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
But the girls, it's like, I'm married with
It's
3
all-
kids.
hello.
I went to my shaito
I feel like
and you're
it's
like,
all shatels. No.
it's all shait. Well, except the
well,
single ones.
I think
Except
we're
for the one
dating
single
some girls
girl,
without
yeah.
shaitos. But the
just some of
guys,
us.
the guys 10 years post yeshiva also the same thing. Half with hair, half without.
It has to do with marriage, right? The married. Okay.
Yep. Just
Well,
like Cam
let's see,
Simcha.
we have. Oh, we all have our hair.
Just like
Oh
Cam
my
Simcha.
God, that is
Right.
crazy. Whoa.
Were you guys in Camp Simcha? Either of
Listen,
you?
if you didn't have hair, we'd have to get married.
Not
We wouldn't have a
for-
No,
choice.
I was in day camp. Simcha day camp.
No.
I was in Marakdim, Moed,
Marakdim.
Simcha day camp, Camp Yisharim, Bonim, Shabin, Rabin,
Shabin.
Quamin. No, like I was in a bunch of camp. What other camp was I? I was in Marakdim.
Dora Golding?
I was in Dora Golding. Yeah, I was in Dora Golding. Yeah, I was a Color War General, 77th Color War General.
Win or lose?
Winning.
And
Winning
what
color
was the
war
team
general.
color?
The other team forfeited.
The team color. Good question. Red.
Were you Ruach or
No, blue.
Achas?
The one that you love Friends. You know that one. The one where you love God more.
Ruach.
I think it was like Makom and Bein Adam Lamakom
So
versus
defined.
I always
Bein
liked it. It was
Adam
like
L'Chavei.
Jonathan Kogel.
Oh, that was it. That was it. Bein Adam L'Chavei. Right. I don't know. Avery, you were a captain of mine.
No.
Yeah, you were. You were like
are you
one of my
talking about?
consigliatures.
You know what's impressive? I don't know if the word's impressive.
were
The
some
guys
of
that
my
are still in camp.
consigliators.
You know the guys like our age that are still there? Like
It's
the
crazy.
assistant head counselor and
It's
the
crazy.
same screaming and yelling. And like, how do you do it?
Like, I didn't like color
How
war when
do
I
they
was
do it?
12. Like, I'm not going to like it now. It's like
Maybe
no
you'll
matter
like
what,
it.
like 5 years in a row, because I kept on switching camps, my
don't
team
know.
always lost. So
they know.
rough. But my biggest, I think probably the proudest moment of my life, though, speaking of extracurricular, it's probably like 23 or something. I was a counselor in camp, and for the first time in my life, my league team won the championship.
It's crazy. You get a trophy?
Partly because I'm like a foot taller than like the other captain.
Oh, you know the buttons. He knows the buttons. Avery, take note. That was
First?
Jared. I mean, Shua. I mean,
Jared.
At this point,
Albert.
it doesn't matter.
I mean, Avery Jr.
He
Take-
can
take
have
him
the
to Jared.
Yeah, he can have the podcast. He's coming for it.
But I think you gentlemen brought up a really solid point where this stuff kind of does matter in a sense. Like we had Bayla here the other week, Bayla Seabrow, and she was saying, I don't understand, who cares where they went to yeshiva? Who cares where they went to school? And I told her right on the show, I said, listen here, Missy, listen here. No, I'm kidding. I didn't say that, but I was like, no, it does matter in a sense because you kind of get a little bit of just an understanding of this person's background and you don't have to just guess. Like, a little bit more of who this person is. Like, when I was in corporate America, the days of me in corporate America.
D4.
When were you? Yeah, when were you in corporate?
When were you in
I was in
What job did you have?
I was there.
What
I
made
was
you
there.
decide to stop climbing the
was-
corporate ladder?
I was there.
The grueling
My
9,
fam-
coming
having a
back at
fam-
11 o'clock
And
at
podcast
night.
full of
11
No, you just weren't
I don't know.
going to do certain things in order to climb, and for that
don't know.
reason, you took a step back.
I don't know how I did it. I literally, I went, I had a morning Seder Chavrusa, then I took the LIRR, I went into Manhattan, I transferred to take the E-train, I take the E-train, I get to work, I'm working all day, I do the same thing, come home, shower, change, go on a shidduch date, or at least told her that I showered and changed. I went on the shidduch date, and then I come back, have a nighttime Chavrusa, we'd get a cigar together, and then...
Be sleeping by 11.
Yeah, no, like 2 a.m. 2 a.m.
How many hours do you have in your day?
2 a.m. about. I don't know how.
Very
I did
impressive.
It. I did. It was just. I mean, that was like years ago. I can't
And
do.
you
that
talking
now.
about the working out, and you went to the gym.
I did. Yeah, I
Oh
went
yeah,
to the
how
gym.
much?
Yeah,
Remember, you could
obviously running
bench
track.
like what
Yeah, I
was
went
it
to the
again?
gym, baby. I went
You
to the
could bench
gym.
like 250. What was it you were telling me before?
250. 375. The cost of the build a buy a Shabbaton.
Oh. No early bird special here, huh?
No early bird at all. I didn't have it. Okay, so Yosef,
By the way, about that, did you get promoted or demoted?
I got promoted.
Promoted.
Yeah, because
You went from president to...
No. I was I was just an advisor last time.
Ah, okay.
I was an advisor, right? Avery did all the work last time.
What did you advise on?
I advised on how many girls get to be in your room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why there was
That's
zero.
all there is.
Anyway,
Advice that I get to drive Kenny up for Shabbos.
we need you to drive Kenny up again. Can you drive Kenny up? Seriously.
You want to explain who Kenny is?
Think Bob Marley.
Kenny was the Shabbos guy who almost
the
made you miss
Shabbos guy.
The
Shabbos.
job is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
I
love
think
Kenny.
Because there's no
The
guy
best
in
thing-
You want to
Pennsylvania.
talk about getting high in the Borei Olam.
the best thing that Kenny said on the drive up, it's like 3 hours. I got to know him really, really well.
Oh, really well. Yeah.
And he's like, yes, I was spending a lot of time in Lawrence. You know, I'm not from Lawrence, but I'm spending a lot of time there. And it's very interesting to see these Lawrence people and how they act. And I'm
Yeah.
like, interesting, right? Like the gears are spinning. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, like, you know, the Jews in Lawrence, like the not Jews in Lawrence, like it's just so interesting to see them. And I'm like, oh my God, I have 1,000 questions and I'm afraid to ask all of them.
3 hours is a long time.
Wait, you asked him? You said that punchline, or he did?
Oh, no, he just made it up now.
Oh,
Yeah, he
I
said
did.
that.
I did. But I'm like, no, I'm like, I have a lot of questions, but we just kind of like trailed off.
Well, he's,
Yeah.
For business purposes, he can't probably reveal too much.
Right. And also,
Because of
he
his,
also has
his
extra
ties to the
You
government.
couldn't
there.
find
Also,
a
yeah.
Shabbos guy who lives near the hotel? Like, you have to bring one from here?
No, because we need someone we can trust. That's a big thing. You got to have someone you trust.
And
you
you
can't
knew
just
Kenny
bring.
from
You
where?
can't. What do you think? You can
First
just
of all,
bring
this guy-
anybody?
Where'd you
If
know Kenny?
anybody, Kenny has his client fulfillment rate. If you check Amazon, they're happy. Everybody who's dealt
Oh,
with
he's on
Kenny,
LinkedIn? Like, how does it work?
he's something like that.
5 stars? 5 out of 5.
He's
He's on like a underground WhatsApp, LinkedIn. Where
very, very
you
underground.
need specific
He's,
medicinal things.
He has he engages in extracurricular activities as well.
Curricular, right?
Yes.
You ever meet these people who know, not Jewish
my
people who know
God,
way
oh
too
my
much?
God.
Like a guy I was talking to on the phone, like at work. He's like, I've been a Shabbos goy many a times. I've wished many
Every
mazel tovs
guy.
at bar
Hello,
mitzvahs. I'm
every
like,
guy.
dude, you live in like Maryland. How do you even know this stuff?
Every guy I bump into who like sees my yarmulke, sees the Magen David, they're like, "Oh, one time I was a Shabbos guy on some program," and then he just starts spewing these things out. So
And you're just trying to go for the Tony Soprano look with the little pinky ring and the.
but that's well. So, but look, let me tell you. So what I did was, when I started going back to mincha at shul, I go, "Oh, one time
You know, there's
I
a
start
story
telling them,
behind that, and you're like, should I ask?
I go like, one time I was Jewish and I went to Minyan and I tell like this guy with a black hat, and I feel like that guy who I bumped into on the street who was a Shabbos guy one time. All right, moving on into the program here. Let's take a look. So basically, you're saying Jared or Shua, you're saying that at a certain point, a certain age, like done, like you shouldn't have to have this on your resume. You're saying take it off.
I don't say take it off, just it's not a big deal. It used to be a bigger deal. Where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to camp? I'll have on my resume, it says previous summers, Camp Simcha. It's not recent, but that's just part of what I did.
Yeah.
I don't think that's so crazy.
Any other like programs these like your chevra surroundings, your crew would go to?
Yeah, I'm on a
What other
WhatsApp group
programs?
called the Arlem Needs to Get Married.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Jeez.
Oh, they wanted a shout out.
Very banal, but tell
Nah, I'll
us.
just end here. But there's, I feel like at our stage, there aren't as many programs per se. It's go to work, come home, go to the gym, watch a movie, go to sleep, and just
like it.
chill on the weekends, you know? Like, do you know anyone that's doing programs at night, whether it's packing boxes for Tomchei Shabbos or mentoring a kid? I mean, at this
When I
stage,
was younger, I knew, but not now.
right, not anymore. Just you kind of move on a little bit.
I think taking care of yourself is an extracurricular activity.
I mean, depends how
Tzedakah.
hard it is to take care of
It's
yourself.
very hard.
Sometimes taking care of yourself is a full-time job.
Well, in the world that it is for some people, in the world that
Right.
you are brought up in
If you're the
frum
type
world,
that has to shine your shoes every time you go out,
it's a lot.
That's busy.
Oh.
That's extensive.
yeah,
Well,
we
to
know
the
people like
extent-
that.
Yeah.
To the extent that you're running to Minyan every day, 3 times a day, running to Chavrusa every morning, right? Running to shidduch dates.
You're staring at me
Running
as you
to
say
a-
that,
a-
and
right.
I feel so guilty right now.
I'm not doing that. But say if somebody
Oh,
is.
You feel guilty for going or not going?
No, I'm not.
Well,
I'm not doing that.
you
But
know,
somebody, say
you have
someone
a
who
history.
is. Yeah, history. Yeah, in the previous history, you have no time to take care of yourself if you're running to deal with all this hysterical.
Well, you ever been in a scenario where it's the
Propaganda.
opposite? You ever been there where there's like 30 people and like no one's really davening and like Shkia is coming and you're like, okay, I'm gonna daven mincha. But you feel awkward, like you're all from, but like I gotta do what I gotta do. I daven 3 times a day.
Yeah.
You kind of awkwardly go to the side. I'm gonna daven now. You guys do you and I'll do me. And it's like,
It's like you feel subtly fry-shamed.
That happens a
Yeah.
lot when the boss comes around to the office and starts, "We need you for mincha. We need you for mincha," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm stuffed. Thanks."
I already davened.
No, I didn't even acknowledge it, but then because then like after at the end of the day they're like, where's the paperwork, Wazowski? And I'm like, dude, I took 20 minutes out of the mincha. Mincha's 5 minutes here, okay? Don't tell me. I'm like, yes, that's true, but there's 5 minutes before when everyone, chats, and then 5 minutes after. And then it's 5 minutes till I get to my desk.
Isn't it
all the
great
traffic
being able
coming
to
in.
use a 20
I mean,
minute break?
this coterie coming in is they're loud. They're bothersome.
This reminds me that when
So
kids
it's a whole thing to do.
were in elementary school, you used to get graded on how well you davened. That was the thing. We were into Ferris Moshe. You got like the more fervent you were,
You went to
the
Ferris
more you
Moshe?
danced. I went to Ferris Moshe. Yeah.
Wow.
Kids would get graded on their davening.
But so how they gauge the kavanah level?
I don't know.
ABC
It's like
I was on my.
I'm really like I'm
PSP.
shouting really loudly, but like I'm thinking about the O's game last night.
Yes, right. No, I met a guy recently. He's about 33. He still had so much trauma as a kid. He was telling us a lot of bad things about his school, but he was saying how, like, a really yeshivish guy. I didn't expect it. But he was like, a certain guy was talking during davening. They made him sit in a chair, that guy, and everyone would walk around and say Refuah Shlema as they walk by. And this guy was still like traumatized by it. He still like couldn't get over it.
And wait, I only have one question though.
Yeah.
Does he still talk during davening?
I don't think it was him. It was someone else. The way the story went.
Yeah, shushers. That should be on the resume, if anything. If the father is a shusher,
Yes.
God, that's the
Yes.
anti-date.
Oh,
If anybody,
I
if they
love-
are
yes.
shushers, get them out of our lives.
No, you know what? You can respect that.
Literally the worst.
Wait,
people in
here's
the
a
world.
Holocaust joke for you, right? Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Into the crematorium.
Finally, he gets a good
Into the
joke,
crematorium.
you know.
Thank you. No,
No, I think
horrible.
people can respect shushers when they're actually quiet. I respect shushers. I just
No.
don't like when the shusher 2 minutes later is talking to someone. Like, dude, seriously.
That happens.
That's
yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, I went out with your daughter 2 weeks ago. Yeah. You're damn right I did. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? She didn't
And everything
shut up
makes
the whole
sense.
day.
I said
so-
everything
So I
makes
shushed
sense.
her.
I'm like, Leroy, everything makes sense.
uh-huh.
Kenny.
No, Kenny, whatever. We're running out of names here. We you know, Avery 3, Isaac 5. Okay. Let's get on with the
IJ.
episode. IJ 1, right. All right, so I think that there's like a very surreal branding deficiency here because people can get branded. I remember when I would go on these like NCSY Shabbatones, right? We'd have an amazing time, and then you'd become like an NCSYer. It was official. Like, you're an NCSY type. And then, like, you would get shidduch resumes of these girls, and girl would say, no, he's an NCSY type. It's not for me. It's not for me. I mean, is that something to be, you know, fearful of and content with, Yosef?
So I'm not really sure too much about the NCSY world. I haven't really been too involved.
Any type.
They make great benchers. That's all I could say. That's all I know about them. But I think it's important to understand, like, everything that we're doing extracurricular wise and all the yeshivas and education, it's all about, you know, we're trying to define ourselves. We're trying to better ourselves. And most importantly, on like a resume, and we're talking to people describing ourselves, we're showing what community that we chose to be a part of. If you're choosing to be a part of NCSY, you can't be annoyed that people assume that you're part of that yeshiva, that part of that world. If I went to centers, I'm not surprised that I got set up with girls that are that type. I try to be clear that, like, yeah, I went to Neri Yisrael. Like, I went there.
You're saying you counterbalance.
I'm not a Neri Yisrael guy. I happened to be there. I spent 4.5 years there. You know, whatever happened.
What happened?
You know,
Tell
things
us.
happened, you
Tell
know.
us what happened.
And I got kicked out of 9th, 10th, 11th. And by 12th grade,
I
they
was
gave
just
up.
being facetious, but if you want to tell us. Avery's here for you. He's
Yeah.
studying
Let's talk about
psychology.
trauma.
Tell
Yeah.
me.
But I don't think Avery wants anything healthy out of it. He just wants to talk about the trauma.
No, just the trauma.
Yeah.
It's free therapy.
But just back to that point of, you know, you're trying to create a community for yourself, for your own betterment. And just because you want to become a gavra, you want to become a real person.
Yeah.
And girls are attracted to somebody who knows what they're about. And so when you show in your resume what you're about, that'll in general help your shidduchim and help yourself grow as a person, help yourself define yourself. We all come at like different times in life where we're like, who am I? What have I become? Am I the same person I was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And like seeing resumes help you really see, okay, that was off base because way too yeshivish. Why do people think I'm so yeshivish? That's off base because that girl is like way too quiet. Okay. That's off base because the girl had no personality. I'm such a funny guy. What am I doing wrong? So like it's a good opportunity to like kind of realign yourself, take a step back, and try to help yourself out.
Amen. Oh, so well said.
Wow.
And I think that's certainly you know, nips it in the butt, where people are just kind of looking. They want to find identity. Like, what are you like? Where do you identify as? Are you committable? Do you commit? You know, these are things that are warranted.
I mean, he does
in
commit
the
sometimes.
searching process.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen him
have no
commit to a
problem
Shabbos like
committing.
on a Tuesday.
I've committed to Shabbos on a Tuesday. I've committed to marriage. I've gone out with girls on a first date, and I'm like, you know what? I can marry her.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
whenever I've thought that on the first date, it's always been like a hot no from them. But I've thought that, and that means something.
That's
I think.
commitment.
Yeah. I'm not telling you who. Sorry, and if you call me afterwards, I'm not telling you.
We're going to tell you, Avery. What do you think this gentleman's alluding to?
Well, one thing I would argue about is you said that a resume, tell me if I'm wrong, a resume is something that you are using to identify yourself as. within a community. And I would disagree with that. For the majority of people who use resumes, they're relying on a parent, a friend, a Rebbe, mentor, somebody within their little worldview as an advisory board to tell you what you are most of the time. The older singles generally don't, I mean, from what I've seen, aren't using a resume, a standard resume platform, naming their parents, naming their Rebbe from 11th grade who has nothing to do with them anymore, naming their friend who's married and has 2 kids, doesn't really know them anymore. I would think it's the opposite for people in the older single world. In the younger world, yeah, I agree with you.
But let's say there's a couple strategic decisions that you could make on a resume, right? You could focus, you could discuss, if you went to Yeshivish elementary school, you're putting it on if you think you're Yeshivish. If you don't think you're Yeshivish, but you went to Yeshivish elementary school, most probably you're going to leave it off, or you give like the cool name of the school, right? You might put your education heavier if you consider yourself more modern. You might put your yeshiva up front. You might put, let's say, 4 rabbeim if you're more yeshivish. If you're less yeshivish, you'll put in maybe 1 or 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I guess it's
It's
I've
strategic.
just seen so many
and
people it is.
I could take my own resume and I can make it more modern or more yeshivish.
At this point, he's putting on
Yeah.
organizers of camping trips.
And you should put the picture of you with
No,
the,
but yeah,
the
that's a good
tattoo
point.
on.
See, people think like sometimes Shadchanim will tell me you're encroaching on their personal background with this perceptive point out and this one, and I'm like, no, this is you're really being able to understand and ascertain who this person is or was.
I
Right?
thought you
So
don't
you're
talk-
right. 5 rabbis. You get a really good read.
I thought you
know
don't talk to
this guy.
Shadchanim anymore.
Dreams.
I'm
dreams.
saying back in the day,
Okay.
back in the day when I
just
was
tell you-
more involved.
let me
What
add
about you,
something, by the
Jen?
way.
What's the deal with you?
It's interesting. I mean, some people when they send you an idea, they're pushing all the wrong buttons. Like you're 22. Like I got recently from someone. They're like, oh wow, like their family, they knew yours for generations. I'm like, okay, it's great. Or it's like, oh, let me tell you, like your parents and theirs will really get along. Or like, oh, and she plays guitar, so I thought it's a nice idea. I've got that so many times. I'm like, I don't care how musical she is. That's a bonus. No, but like,
Can we just agree, like, when they call you up and
Yeah.
tell you, like, oh, this is why I'm like, forget it. I
In all
tell them, look, I
seriousness-
slap them around, smack. You know, like the Will Smith did in that movie,
Right.
Hitch. I smacked him.
that's what you say when it comes to smacking and Will
Smack.
Smith. The movie.
Yeah, I know that
movie, huh?
The movie, not the Oscar. Literally smacks Albert.
No, I'll tell you.
So then I
Yeah.
tell them, I'm like, just don't even. You don't know.
I think it's fair. I know we all say how like, oh, we don't want to judge and stereotype. I think it's not fully accurate. What?
Just that camera misses you also.
Oh, okay. I think at the end of the day, how people dress and act very often is telling of who they are. Mm-hmm. I can give examples. We all know the examples. A person who acts and dresses a certain way will be more or less from 9 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times than the other
for
way.
sure.
As much as you have that guy who won't dress the part, act the part, and might be just as firm. So I get why people stereotype. But at the same time, so much of that becomes, I think, meaningless at this point. Then as opposed to when you're 22, 23, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Like
But
now,
this is just based off of looking at the resume, like the most
Well, here's the question. for you.
superficial.
I don't want to go as
form.
off as just a question. I don't want to go crazy off here, but do you even want to hear about a girl before you see a resume and a picture?
Oh, and yeah, no way.
No way,
no
right?
way, no
It
way.
gets to that point,
and I'm
like-
proud to say it.
Right. Some
proud to
people, they want to give you
I
the
need
whole
a picture.
explanation.
I need a little look.
Send me the
God,
resume.
yes.
Send me the
Oh,
picture, and
yeah.
then
Oh,
if I'm
totally.
interested, we'll discuss it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the 5
Those
minutes
are the
speech.
people that I have a bridge to sell you. Okay, the bridge is it's a big bridge, and I can't show you the bridge, but
I didn't know we were in Russia.
Wait, you don't have an issue?
Well, it's usually Russians.
Let's hear a
Yeah.
description of a girl. Wonderful girl. I'm telling you, great girl. Great personality. Not too loud though. It's like I really think you'll get along with her. From in like a good way. She wouldn't be pushy. She's not like forcing you to go to Minyan, but like she's really like to her core, like spiritual and from. Good girl. What else can I tell you about her? Like she was very involved with the GO in high school. Not that like that's all she does, but she's just like really involved. I
love that.
Everyone likes her. She gets along with everyone. I remember I saw her the other week and like she waved to me from across the street. a really like a fine girl, but with it, like you don't chap. Like she's with it.
You forgot one
Understand
thing.
what I'm saying? She's with it and she gets it.
Yosef,
She really gets it.
you forgot one thing. And the picture doesn't do her justice.
It really
yes.
doesn't. It really doesn't.
Okay, Avery, are you interested in meeting this young lady?
In a brothel. That's
Whoa,
about it.
can't be
Not
more
anywhere
honest
else.
than that.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it. He's
Why-
interested in meeting her at least.
But why do you
This guy
accept?
goes to the
Let me
West
ask
Side
you,
for 6
hold on.
months and look what
Yosef,
happens.
let me ask you,
I
why
know,
do you
what did I
accept
tell you?
these people
So
who
we
don't know
what
you?
we're saying is
You just said you did. You
resume,
just said you got
pick,
the-
but also going back to
Yeah,
the resume.
Avery's saying, like,
and
why do you allow
why are
this
you
to
allowing
impinge?
these people who don't know you from a hole in the wall? Haven't spent an hour with you, or even a
So-
10-minute phone call to get to know who you
So
are?
my background, to answer your question, my background is in sociology. It's my undergrad. And I love the study of human behavior.
Yeah.
And so most of shidduchim is just studying people, not really going anywhere. I'm like, wow, what
He's doing it for the
what a
call.
fascinating, terrible call. But like when I write my book, it'll help explain a
there
big
you
part
go.
of human society.
Like you've seen it all.
What a horrific, yeah.
That would be like two guys.
No,
Yosef,
I'm not negative about it at all.
Yeah.
Every single experience, negative, positive, it's not. It's all material.
But
Yosef,
these,
think
all
about it.
but
material.
don't you think it
Gathering
affects
intel.
you after
No,
you go on a
for this
date
podcast.
with somebody whose scars are
for
open and their
everything.
It
wounds
would
are
be
just...
like
No, because the only thing
that's
that I
great.
don't like
That is
is,
great.
when
Yeah.
it's when like it's
Oh,
something
man.
that I can't take any material out of. But even the same generic thing over and over again, I'm like, wow, you're really reinforcing this theory that I have.
Doesn't
Yosef,
Einstein say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and
I'm
over
not doing
again?
it. They're doing it, and I'm
You're
studying
allowing
their
them to do it in
insanity.
your face.
I'm in the psych ward, but I get to leave at the end of the day.
So Viggy, here's the question. Viggy, if you flip the scenario, let's say the
Yeah.
different crowd on the Upper West Side where there is more generic mingling, does that lead to more marriage?
I don't know. I may...
The answer
Doesn't
is
seem
no.
like
though.
it, right?
The answer is no. Though.
I don't know. I
No,
don't-
wait.
Hold
Let
on.
Avery respond. I want to hear.
But the question is, does it
Yeah.
lead to healthier relationships? I don't
I
know
don't
if it
know
leads
either.
to
See,
marriage.
that's what I like.
My
I
question
like
is, does it lead to a healthier
Do
relationship?
you find it's one giant friend zone in the Upper West Side? Because I've heard that.
I've
from
never
people. I don't know if that's fair.
I-
I've never been there really.
Ask me in 6 months because I may be moving there. I've never lived
thought you
there.
moved there.
No, I didn't move there. I wish.
I mean, I was saying he was going to move there.
Yeah.
Mentally, I'm there. I physically
right.
live here. My,
Libby
my-
Bamizrach.
He's right.
Yeah.
Physically, he's in
Yeah.
the 5 towns.
Up
but,
there, I'm already gone. But
So you're looking for a roommate.
we'll discuss after the show.
yeah, if Malia is listening,
Whoa. Hashtag shout out. I was robbed in LA.
you know, they listen to this. People listen to this podcast. Avery, you hear that, Miss D? If you're still out there. Okay.
yeah.
So no, Avery, look, I like this conversation here. Okay, so y'all are saying that, well, we have to do
the battle.
shidduchim because the alternative is the Upper West Side life. Okay, which I get and I respect, and I'm like, bro, peace out to everybody. Ho. And on Avery's side here, he's saying like, no, what's the problem there? Like, as long as you're getting some good soul vibing and soul connecting, and you're in a healthy relationship, I think we should respect everybody. So good. Peace, brothers. Peace. Do not have anything to do with that woman. How good is my Bill 42?
That was very good.
yeah. Just pull your pants up a little bit. There you go. Okay,
Okay, gotcha. All right. Next. Okay.
On that note,
that's his bill. Yeah.
On that note, nobody told you to podcast.
No, I don't know. I think it's a fair
But,
argument
like-
to have. It's individual dependent because for me, entering into the shidduch sphere would be a toxic thing for my.
do you think it's
Personality.
because
Would
you're
be-
out
would-
it's hard to
sure.
get back in, or unrelated?
I don't know. It's again. I follow the Joseph Campbell.
Oh, like the
Speech
chunky
of-
soup, or
No.
I've seen
Joseph
it.
Campbell, the
Okay.
writer Joseph Campbell, based on Star Wars. It's just follow your bliss. Your heart tells you what you want, where you need to go. And running back into a place where there was anxiety and fear and depression and anger and upset over whatever it was that was causing me ill will
Okay.
or
Right.
hurt.
So let me ask you a
feelings
question.
or-
Meaning,
Is
like,
it
a
possible because
disruption.
is it because maybe are you newer to the Upper West Side scene? It's not. I'm not picking on the Upper West Side. My
Yeah.
question is, and again, in a scene where there's more mingling, maybe that anxiety and depression is still there. Just right now, you might be in the honeymoon phase,
Oh,
and it
it
might
may
even be
be.
worse. It might be better.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
haven't moved. It may be. I don't know. It's very. I think that happens in all stages of life, though. As long as you're growing and moving on to things, we get used to it. Your first year as a law student, it's pretty cool. I'm in law school and I'm getting used to life. And then all of a sudden, a year or two later, it's just school and you're miserable again because you have a ton of work, right?
Yeah.
The same thing happens when you start shidduch dating. Oh, great. I get dates every single night. It's unbelievable. I have so many girls I can go out with whenever I want. And then 3 years later, oh, it's terrible. I have a date and she doesn't even offer to
It's like
pay
if you start a magazine, it's hard in the beginning. You have all these editors
difficult.
and stuff, and then it's rolling, and then you just stop for no reason, and everyone wonders why. I can imagine all these scenarios, you know?
Right. So it's personal, it's person dependent. And hopefully you find your area in life that speaks to you, your calling, for instance.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess as long as you don't stop and, think about those childhood mentalities, which we were talking about before. I think we were having this conversation. People who still have those same fears, that 33-year-old guy you were discussing who had trauma from his Rebbe,
him.
right? If you have that, if you were 18 and you started shidduch dating, 19 or 20, you started shidduch dating with a childhood mentality, mindset. What has changed over the last 8 to 10 years that you've been doing the same thing over and over again? What has changed? Has anything changed in the way you date? Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah, a little's changed for me.
Maybe, I don't know. But if you have that mentality, it's going to carry with you for the rest of your life until you actually start to pick up, new things.
Well, here's the question. Where do you define the difference between insanity is doing the same thing again with different results, and sometimes you have to keep doing the same thing, right? If you buy one lottery ticket and stop, that guy that won the lottery, it's an extreme example, he just kept buying it. Or you're at work in whatever field you are and you're cold calling 1,000 people till you get that deal. So maybe shidduch dating, if you believe in a zivug, it's the same idea.
I agree. So long as you feel good about it. I know for me, I didn't feel good about it. But for other people, so long as you continue to feel good about it. Steven Spielberg doesn't stop working on directing movies because he's continually enjoying what he's doing, and he's successful, right? And he's building upon it. So long as you can still build upon something, I think that's the way to go.
Right. I mean, we're talking about extracurricular activities as a way to define a community, and we're talking about changing things up as a way you want to redefine. So just trying to circle back. If you don't feel the need to redefine because you feel like you're going along the right path, then you shouldn't switch it up. Yeah. And if you're switching it up because you feel that it's time to embrace a slightly different community and this might work a little bit better for me, this is like the extracurricular of a upper 20-year-old or a 30-year-old, right? Like I'm showing that I'm part of this community. I'm checking this community out, and I'm seeing in what way it's different, what way I'm going to now define myself in this new environment, this new scenario.
Well, you could change it up. Like you might not go to singles events when you're 22. You might go at 25. And when you're 28, you might go to Shabbos with a Shabbos guy named Kenny. I mean, all these things are, you progress.
Yeah, hopefully.
What's all this hate on Kenny? Seriously.
I like Kenny.
We love Kenny. Kenny, if you're out there, just don't give me a parking ticket. Okay. Yeah, dude, bro, well said. Everyone really well said. No, we're not over yet. We have another 3 hours. No, I'm kidding. We have to beat the other podcasts out there who are trying to fraud the American Jewish dating community out there.
Doing a great job so far.
I agree. Now, Jared, is there anything that you may see on a resume from a girl, from a specific extracurricular, that you'd be like, ain't happening? Would there be anything?
Yeah, had a chesed. No, I'm joking. You see, it goes back to the original thing. How far back do you want to go? How come for someone?
Well, what's something that you look at? What's something? Tell us. Tell the people.
Let me flip the scenario. How come you have guys who are 27, 28, 29, and when you see, she had a rough patch in high school where she went to an Ornava type place or whatever.
Oh, Ornava.
No, it's like, no.
I don't even know. I grew up like at Wallerstein Shlita. I mean, sorry.
That wasn't a dig. That wasn't a dig.
It was like already a thing.
That wasn't a dig. If you see Derek Mayer for 9th and 10th grade, and then Ornava for 11th and 12th, and then a more modern seminary.
Oh, yeah.
For certain guys still at close to 30, it's like, something we should know. And it's like, dude, that was like 10 years ago.
I think, send this girl over to Avery. I think that would make,
I will not accept. I don't really know Shua that well. I have to get to know him. Before
you want a phone
take
call?
Him for dinner.
Yeah. That's how it should be. Well, what did you think?
I want a shidduch to take me to dinner before they suggest me ideas.
I think so.
No, but to answer your question, I guess certain stuff is more impressive. You get to see sometimes the character of a person, even if it's when they were younger. See, the thing about the shidduch resume, I think, is that it stops updating at some point because you leave school, you stop going to camp. All you do is maybe switch jobs and switch a couple of friends on or off. But it is nice if you see a girl was involved with Chesed organizations or something. Like, all joking aside, I think that does show something more than not. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily, but sometimes you're like, oh, that's a pretty impressive. Like, she was involved with this.
But see, I don't like to see that as they get older. Like, if I'm seeing, at 28 years old, still doing NCSY, still doing the Yachad, still doing Chesed. I'm like, dude, you're 28 years old. Like, what are you doing for you? What are you doing for you?
But keep in mind,
I just deviated away.
You're
from
closer to 60 than being born. So, I mean, at some point soon, you're going to need all this chesed.
What are you putting this Gashmias into my mind? I don't need this schmutz in my mind
right
here.
I was at his 30th birthday.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, you were the one. You were the one.
All of you were there, l'chaim to me.
You were there?
Trying to remember.
Let's just say it
was by a pool, Carlos and Gabby.
Right.
There's 60,000 people listening here. Let's just pretend like everyone, you guys were there.
The meaningful. No, which podcast is this?
This is.
He confused it again. Okay. He does that.
Avery talks shidduchim.
Avery
Avery talks shidduch. And then our next podcast, call Avery Tati.
Yeah.
But don't call Avery as Tati.
Don't call me at all. I don't want to hear from you. I'm honest.
The people want to hear from you, Avery.
So you're not the one whose number they put. They
miss you on Instagram.
Yeah, I hope
for all your questions and comments, WhatsApp this guy.
They really miss you on Instagram, by the way. Like, people have been literally commenting, like, "Where's Avery? We need a piece of him. Why aren't you responding to our messages?"
That's why I realized they weren't so involved.
I have some very good hobbies for these people to involve themselves in.
Does it involve flying kites or?
No, it rhymes with corn, and they can just keep themselves busy with it. Stay away from me.
Corb?
Yes.
They should contact our friend Corb. How's he doing? That's
open up an OnlyFans account. I don't want to hear from these people.
They say it pays well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does. I was listening to Joe Rogan's, and they were talking about their friend comedian who she does stand up professionally, and then to make rent money to pay yeshiva tuition, she has this OnlyFans.
I don't know how Feldman pays his rent and his car payments.
I know.
We all
Did you see that car? Did you see that that Mercedes he's got?
I should make like a share on OnlyFans style. Where tell me what you want me to learn right now, and I'll learn it. Like Kabbalah, Nach, let's go. You want me to make a lading in front of you could reenact my Rebbe? I'll make a lading, the hardest Gemara you know.
I think that's a great.
You could also reenact historical moments. Biblical moments in OnlyFans.
As long as it's
could burn a bush.
If I'm opening up a safer to do it, I'm into it.
You're into it,
in a holy way.
There you go.
Let's do it. I'll teach you anything.
That's beautiful.
Oh my god. See, that's what happens when you put 4 single guys at a table. Like, all right, talk about something, and they're like, OnlyFans.
Listen, it's.
I thought that was a sports website.
Than I expected.
Yes, absolutely.
Isn't that what Torah Anytime is?
That's what Torah Anytime. Yeah. By the way, everyone has to kind of be careful because we're potentially putting every NTS on Torah Anytime. So we're doing the petition. We're doing a what's the petition? Change.org. We're doing a change.
Oh, I like that website.
We're gonna move this over there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what others.
By the way, I've heard that when Trump actually went to go get the documents. One of them had Ivanka's old shidduch resume.
Oh,
that was it. Oh, that's what they really wanted in the FBI.
0 to 21.
You're making people laugh.
Thank you. That's such a Jewish joke.
I'm so happy we have an audience here.
We do. People, thank you.
Yeah, in the beginning of Seinfeld, and Kramer walks in, the first few seasons, always a round of applause.
They always had a round of applause. Why was that?
I
heard actually.
Why was that?
He was kind of stealing the scene a little bit too much because then we're just laughing that it's so funny he's doing that, but you're gonna be you don't want a whole episode of just loud, obnoxious entranceways.
Yeah,
it's exciting, it's interesting, but imagine if you acted on the whole day the same way you act in the first 5 minutes of a shidduch day, wouldn't work so well. Or at least the way that I act in the last 5 minutes of a bad date.
Like,
The last 5 minutes are
let me-
also the first 5 minutes.
Ask,
Is
you
that
can
what you're
ask
saying?
Lisa Elephant about
Tell
that
me
one.
some dates you.
shout out.
Tell me some dates you shidduch daters have been on recently.
Well, I heard of a
like, What have
guy-
you been up? Like, yeah.
A guy was telling me how someone wouldn't get out of his car.
Oh my God.
Should I give
yeah.
away the trick? You know
Yeah,
how to get
yeah.
someone out of your car?
Yeah. What happened?
Shut the engine.
Oh!
You open the door and you say, I'll walk you to the front.
I see now. It makes a lot of sense because I've had many girls done that to me multiple times.
What? They're
Multiple
shutting
times.
your car off.
They're shut my car off. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Do
say,
they
have a
just
great
like
night.
as you're talking,
it's
just
pretty
like
crazy.
Do they slowly close their hand over your mouth and like shh?
Can I veer off topic
go-
for a second? You know what I found out's a much bigger deal than I think people give credit for? Holding the
more.
door. Like I thought it was a you do or you don't, but
No, you don't
apparently
do
it
it.
has a lot more significance.
You don't do it anymore. That's I
So,
asked the girls. I polled
I
68
got-
girls.
I got dumped because I didn't open the door for a girl
Oh, see you next Tuesday.
Wow.
on any
See you
of the
next
3
Tuesday.
dates with her.
Well, she gave you 2 more.
I think she was just bracing herself to dump me. It takes a while.
They look
She
for
thought
reasons.
she'd get a couple of free meals out of
I'm
you
just
first.
saying
She
that's
thought maybe, maybe next date, he needs to know me a little bit more to open the door for me. Then I'm sure she thought like, wow, this guy just.
And Yosef's like, you're a
Terrible
big girl.
person.
You can open it by yourself.
yeah, right. That's what I would
And
say.
you know what? Since then, I've been holding the door open, and every girl's like, "Why are you doing that? Like, that's so weird." And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? You can't make women happy. That's it."
You have
can't.
jewelry with you?
Ooh,
They'll be happy.
right.
Yeah, he has an
Give them a
earring he puts
diamond
in
ring.
once in a while.
Yeah.
At what point do you mention like I'm very successful and my parents have money and
How do you think they
When-
go on
when do
dates?
I-
Why do you think they're
I
even?
can compensate for smaller things?
Why do you think
When
they're
do
going
I
out with
start
him?
lying?
Yeah.
I mean, right away.
Yeah. Why do you think they're not going out with him?
I don't know. I hear that even in
you
Baltimore,
start
fans
lying.
show up outside his house and take pictures.
I actually, well, at least I didn't
Well,
shoot up date.
you
though.
want to be on the line of like fallacious and embellishment. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I realized also something that like I'm trying to take into my dating, just moving forward, not connected.
Tinder swindler
And it's
advice.
crazy where when I'm on a bad date and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have fun and only care about having fun.
Yeah, it
Afterwards,
works.
when I say no, the girls are devastated. But if I actually like the date, it's because then I'm like acting very normal. Hi, how are you? What's your favorite color? What was your neighbor's pet dog? Something like that. Your grandmother's maiden name. They don't really care about it too much.
Craziest
but then when
thing
I'm
you
like,
did in
oh my
Israel,
goodness,
got
this
lost on
crazy
a
story in
bus.
Israel. I got lost on the beach one time and had to make a bracha. They had to give tzedakah to a mayor baroness. And they found me and I had to run back to Yerushalayim.
yeah.
That was
for
the old
sukkahs,
Seir
and a
Shai
friend
ben
helped
Rabbi
me. Yeah.
You've done that a few times, Jared.
So it's always so
Lost
much more
on the beach.
entertaining
Jerry.
that way.
Have you and Avery ever dated like sisters or anything like that? Like that would be adorable.
I feel like I date a lot more than Avery.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
No,
Avery?
there was that
Maybe
one
what are you,
time.
on 13, 14?
There was that time we dated 2 people who were alike.
That's adorable.
Your ex and me.
You are not like my ex. But I don't.
It was a toxic situation because you guys were learning and you're like, this
We're
person
like,
is
oh, by
so
the
in your
way.
life and you're like, you know what? I have to end this chavrusa. Like this is
Yeah.
toxic
But
for me.
you know what though? I
The
didn't.
chavrusa has become, oh, hey man, yeah, okay. You're late too? Okay, let's just put it tomorrow. All
I
right.
gotta give credit to
that's
myself
the learning.
and my ex. I didn't slowly ghost her over the period of a year before she knew that we were over.
Okay,
Right?
got it.
Because that's like, he wasn't home. Oh, it's been 3 days since he has been home. I wonder where he's been. I'm sure he's fine. Okay, it's fine. A week later, 2 weeks later.
Yeah. And she wasn't even
sure he's
aware that
fine.
you were dating even. So
And then she'll ask me like a
helped.
random question like, hey, are you by like Starbucks now? I'd be like, no, not around. Oh, okay. 3 months later. Oh, okay. You want to come on my podcast? Like that.
We've done that to a lot of girls who came on the show. Yeah, right, Avery?
I'm going to validate this. Sure.
Is it
Great
true?
idea.
Is it true you started this podcast just to get girls or no?
That's literally why I spent
And that didn't work.
thousands of dollars.
And that didn't work, so you started the magazine.
Spent time misdevising plans and trying to
Does he
figure out. Yeah, that's.
Does he seem cunning enough to do that?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, look at this face.
That looks innocent.
All right, people, as we get to our final moments here, okay? Anyone else have anything to tell? I mean, the last few minutes, as you know, the segment's been renamed to "Tell Avery as if it was the last time you were going to see him."
So, Avery, I think I met you like a year and a half ago.
I think we did.
And it was at a pretty tumultuous period of my life. I was about to start studying for finals, and I had the bar in my mind. And it was just a lot to go through, really a lot to deal with. And I had mentioned to a friend of mine that I was looking for a partner, but not just a regular partner, a partner in Torah. And I found that partner in you.
Amazing.
And it's hurt me so much that we've drifted apart.
Yeah.
And it wasn't this like hot and cold. It was just the slow death of our partnership. And I wish I had the words to express how I feel about this. And I just want to say that it hurts me.
All right, very
And
good.
I feel like I'm to blame for it, but I'm just sad. That's all.
Wow, this is
I don't want to,
reckoning.
I don't want, I don't want to
Quite a reckoning.
impose on this.
I think we should-
emotional,
You asked, all right? You
sentimental-
asked.
We need
Well,
to
by the way,
break
tell me
down.
what's going on.
Jews don't know what emotions are. Hold
Avery
on.
and I have left the WhatsApp
on.
groups. Like, what's going on in there? Like,
Same
people
old.
asking about us specifically.
No.
I mean, me, him.
Not really.
What? What?
Yeah, no one's at
Like what?
No one's asking about us. Like,
Are we
me,
even?
you know?
Are we in any groups together?
I was in every. I left. You know, I'm not in there.
You didn't
I
just
need-
leave.
You know,
you left with a bang.
Aren't you guys
You
in-
let everyone know
I
you were
said,
leaving.
you know, I said, go shidduch yourself and
Yeah, pretty much.
sayonara sister, and I backed out of there.
You know what everyone's waiting for right now?
What?
They're waiting for the same event you made last year in Muncie. I heard a few people ask about it.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Well, that
Yeah,
was,
that was
yeah.
a
We did
great
a great
event.
job.
That was a lot
Those
of
were the
fun.
days.
I had a lot of fun. I started dating somebody, I
that?
think, after
No
that
way.
thing.
Get it? Who'd you date?
Ooh.
Miriam? Was it
Shua knows what I'm
Miriam?
talking
Miriam.
Yeah.
Oh, my Charissa's calling. Should we
was
put him
it
on
was
the air?
Miriam.
Yeah, should we put him on the air?
Put on the air.
Was that the douchebag from before?
Those were the days I thought.
No, different one, different.
Those
you
were
can
the
forward
days
the
I-
call to me. We'll take a caller. All right. We
No,
have
this
another
is my
caller
phone.
here.
No, it's my Charissa.
I still thought back
have
then
another
you
caller.
hired your buddy Isaac as a bodyguard.
Yeah, he was. That's actually the interesting
doing
story because
security.
can I tell you something? The bodyguard for Jerry, Steve Wilkinson, got his own show. So you know, Avery hired the bodyguard, and now he's running the entire company. You know,
He was my Padawan.
Yeah, but that was a good.
Padawan learner. He was.
That was a really good event.
Thank you. You
Yep.
were there.
I was there.
You were there too?
Oh yeah. Oh, I actually also went out with someone.
I wasn't even there.
It was pretty bloody. After, didn't end well. She died. Anyway, Avery.
My bloody.
Hair.
Avery. Okay, what a way for me to illuminate the situation.
Quite a situation.
No, so anything else in the WhatsApp groups going on? Like they asking about Avery?
Wow, where's the cricket sound? Could you?
Oh wait, I think it's this one. Wait,
Let's find it. Let's find it.
no.
No,
Oh, this
no.
one.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you
I'm
go.
as popular as Brittany Griner.
I mean, seriously, 80.
There's not
Are
much
they
going
like
on.
Brittany Griner
Yosef,
in the groups? Like, oh,
You realize by like the 80th episode, they'll probably know the buttons.
They?
I used to have
don't.
them written down. Okay, wait, no. But serious question here. I want to know, do you feel like these WhatsApp groups or everyone's in there and everyone's, do you feel like it kind of defeats the purpose of, creating some mystery or some allure for both sexes because you're then now like getting to know someone and it could be in a very misleading way.
Yeah,
Really
I
misleading.
think sometimes it could do damage because there could be someone that
Yeah.
one side could go out with, but then you see how they write or what they write, and it's not even
Yeah,
bad. They're like they're a
it's
raving lunatic.
Yeah, they're right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Don't you think you'll find that out eventually
exactly
if you
what I'm
actually
saying.
go out that they are?
Maybe yes,
lunatic?
maybe no. Because look at the previous generation. I've thought before. I look at either my parents, friends, or neighbors, and I think sometimes, he or she would have been crazy on WhatsApp, or he or she's an entertainer or a singer. Like their husband or wife never would have dated them if it was today, and they had podcasts or YouTube channels or whatever. But you know what? Like it's a different generation.
Yeah, let the crazy out. Let's see it.
Yeah,
Well, that's a
present
good
it
question,
far
right?
and
How
If you're
much-
going to be
how
in a
much do you
squirrel
present?
costume or something on WhatsApp, like it's not a good look always.
Well, what do you do about these chicks on Instagram? Now that I see guys getting on Instagram, like with the fashion and the hair,
Aren't
and
you on
it's
it?
insane.
yeah, aren't you on Instagram?
I'm really I'm
With
in
the
and
fashion
out.
and the hair.
I'm in and out now. I get in, I get out. I don't want to be all over that.
I was a
'Cause
Turo
I
college
was-
ad.
You understand these these just broken ex-Space Yaakov Yeshiva Bacharettes were like jumping all over me on there, and I'm like, I got to get out of here.
You did it for the good of everyone
I'm
else.
out of here. I did it for the good of everyone else. Yeah.
The Kedusha of
I'm,
cholesterol.
what can I tell you? I'm a hero.
You're like the from Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
pretty
am.
much.
Right. Him and I we're keeping Kim Kardashian busy so everyone else
Yeah.
can survive out there.
He
Good of the claw.
He was
You get the same
bullied.
vibe, just the same look, very.
But
Very put
I
together.
think though it's if you see someone who's like really just excessively inordinately posting on the Instagram, like I think that's indicative that like this is just someone
I'll put
you
it
don't
this
want to
way:
go out
if
with.
you're on a WhatsApp group and there's a guy or a girl, or take one of each, right, in a mixed group who is just the biggest poster, how is that not a turnoff for someone? And they might even be quiet
It's
in real
annoying.
life.
Yeah,
I've
they
met
usually
people who are quiet, who are so loud on WhatsApp. I mean, I'm loud on both, but the people you're like, no way, you're Maishi? Doesn't make any sense.
I know you meet them and you're like, oh my god, no way. Like we had one of our first listeners here. Let's just call him DHNYC. He's probably listening right now. And
Not our only one.
and he was
Don't-
like,
don't offend him.
No,
We
he's
need
not
him.
our only, but he
We
was
need
like, he
him.
was one of the first.
He's
and
one
he
of the
was-
6 people.
And I always
Yeah.
I was like, Avery, we got to. I'm curious to
David.
meet this guy, and I met him at an event the other week. It's pretty cool.
What
He's a
type
cool-
of
cool
event?
dude.
And-
Oh, you know him. You know him. I'll tell you his name after. I'll tell you.
What type of event was it at?
This was the T-Neck singles mixer.
Is this the one that was on July 4th?
No,
They make every year?
no.
Oh,
That was Shipper's one. That was
I wasn't there.
Muncie.
You're talking about the
That was
wine, the
Muncie
wine
one.
tasting one a
The
couple
wine
days ago?
and pizza. Yeah, the wine and
No.
pizza. That's what it was.
Oh. You paid $30?
Yeah, I
Wow.
RSVP right away. I'm not one of you people like, oh, I don't know if I could go.
To your credit, when I made an
I
event,
might be married.
when I
said,
made an
don't
event,
know.
I
when I
don't
made
go.
an event, you RSVP'd right away.
I did. Here, it was this. Here, it was
didn't
this one
go.
right here. Let's take out here. People can see here. Which one it was it? Here. Oh, this is it. Here. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Remember that? See?
I missed that.
See that? See that? See that? Okay. See, Avery, see that? Avery?
See it?
Well, hold on, let me see.
You see it? You see it?
Yeah.
Oh, pizza and wine. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And wine.
Yeah, and-
That's how you need to
Yeah.
find your wife. I can't. Does it still
On that-
entice you? I
I
can't
have a question on
understand.
that
Yeah,
note.
yeah,
Do you
go.
like being at events, like singles events,
No.
and being a little tipsy when you're there? I personally don't like it because I'm out of my game. I'm like a little off because that's what alcohol does.
I've realized, honestly, I've mostly stopped by these events because I'm having, I don't know, it sounds crazy, more fun
My new
sober.
baby also see that.
Oh, good. Good to see. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
It looks just like you
I'm busy.
without the beard.
That's actually our.
How do you
listener.
guys get through summer? What's
Our
your
one
summer?
listener.
How's your summer been?
Summer,
like?
this has been one of the best summers of my life.
How
I've
many-
been very
What?
busy.
How many times
Because
have you
you're-
slept
Going
you're
out
working
or
for-
hanging out and work. Like,
So you're working at a desk
busy-
job for the first time in like what, 4 years or something like that? I mean,
Wow.
you went to law school.
Yeah, but I mean, I started September last year. It's not like I've just
No, but that
started
doesn't
doing
count
this.
because you were like.
I have a question. How many nights have you slept outdoors this summer?
Is that because he's from Baltimore?
Less than 10.
Less than, but close, right?
It's actually probably been like around 10. Although there's a cot in my backyard that I might check out tonight.
No, because I've slept outdoors like once in the last like 6-7 years.
Whoa.
Some people do it all the time.
Did you go to the camping trip, like one of those?
No,
things?
I'm scared of the outdoors.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I inquired. I was interested, and I said, "Oh, is there an RV?
No.
Oh, yeah, you could bring your RV." I'm like, "I don't have an RV.
You
Is there
can
a
rent
hotel?
one.
Is there a room?"
I have a
And
vision.
they're like, "Yeah, you can. You
I
can
have
bring
a
a
vision
room."
sleeping outside. It's like sometime in the middle of the night, and you're just dying out there, and you reach for your fan,
Yeah.
but it's not there, and
Yeah,
you
you're
look for the
screwed.
AC.
What do
You're
you mean
screwed.
Dying out
Yeah,
there.
I-
Imagine like you go in September, right? It's
I don't
cool
think of
nights.
that vision.
It's comfy. Sipping on an air mattress. It's beautiful. You smell in the air. Some crickets.
Wait, you went to that
Relaxing.
thing, right? You went to these.
I went to the
camping. I'm not
cricket,
saying. I'm
yeah, I
not
went
talking
to the
specifically
cricket
about the camping trip. I'm literally talking about like these camping trip
Thank you for clarifying.
events.
I was
not
confused.
specific because
I was very
there is
confused.
there's Joe and the Camping Co. There's the camping trip. There's Sababa Fest. There's
Zelmo trip.
I don't know what these. There's this new one, Juice Fest that came out.
Brian Laundries.
Unity.
He does one.
Unity lit.
Yeah.
Oh, Unity, yeah. Oh, that's my boy. What's his name? That's our boy. He did the lights for you.
Mayor Coco.
Mayor Coco.
Mayor, yeah, he's the man. Mayor, sponsor an episode. Tell, please.
Yeah, it's probably not.
He'll
gonna
do the
happen.
lighting
No.
for free though.
I don't know.
Yeah,
do
a
the
little
lighting
light
for free.
here and
I'll be
there.
happy.
He
with
opened up
lights.
the lights
Yeah,
at
can you
Mo
imagine
Safer's
that?
house and he charged me money. Flip the switch. Just it was a lot of money.
And it was very worth it because everyone loved.
It's like,
everyone
seriously,
just loved
why-
the lights. And
Why do we even need
Didn't
electricity?
we?
Reason I
wait,
went to
wait.
Ho- there's a
I
reason we went to Home
distinctly
Depot.
remember putting up the lights Motzi Shabbos.
I know.
And slaving away doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
And did you get a shout out?
I did not know.
You
Apparently-
gave
had a
yourself
date.
one.
What?
You had a date.
That
from the
Motzi
event.
Shabbos?
No, from the event, so it was worth it.
You know
Right.
what was nice about your event? There was an open bar,
Tell
even
us.
though it was like it wasn't
We're
expensive,
being
but like
recorded.
it was enough that whoever wanted
Oh,
to
whoops.
just get wasted, and I
Exactly.
saw a lot of them they were able to just drink and like they had a good time.
Oh, that's so
It's like,
sweet of you.
You know why? Because at the end of the day, if you don't find someone for you, at least you could have fun.
Could we just see what happened?
And I was
You
told
had-
autistic people
That's-
love alcohol.
do you
So that's why I did it.
do you remember you had two about
God.
22-year-old girls from Lakewood?
Yeah.
Very attractive.
Yeah.
And everyone the
Yeah,
38-year-olds were into
Michal
them.
and,
38-year-old.
Didn't you have them on the show as a
Tali.
You had them on the show,
We
right?
did, yeah.
And everyone who was like way too old was into them. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, so
Oh, of
I'm
course.
36. Some guy
They're,
was like,
they're
how old?
piece of meat. It was literally the
Case in point of why you don't have an age
the
gap
Lion
that's
King.
that big.
It was the
I-
Lion King when the hyenas saw Simba.
I literally sat down. I'm like,
Nala.
so what's going on? 2-minute convo. Oh, so how old are you? All right. That's my cue.
I love it. That's like some Jeffrey Epstein stuff right there, right?
Oh, that's
Like,
his idol.
That's what they would
Yeah.
do. They would bring the
I would
people to
walk away,
to the
yeah.
island, and then they give him a session, and then they
More
get it on
like,
camera. They'd go like, "Oh, you're I'm 16, by the way." Like, oh, okay, great, perfect. But the guys who got away with literally like got away, not got away with it, but got away were like, oh, that's right.
It's not
This
too
is
late
over.
to
This
make
is
another
over.
event there. And summer still has another 2
At
weeks.
Jeffrey Epstein's island. I think it is, ostensibly speaking.
I guess the island it's over. But back at that Muncie house, that was special. That was
I'm happy you had a good time.
I had a good
I'm
time.
and I find it very self-rewarding that I can take all the credit, even though Avery did all the work.
No, take the credit. Take it.
Yeah,
Oh, actually, I will
he
take.
does
No,
that.
I'm sorry. I will take all the credit because this guy over here, I brought that day. I helped you get the drinks from
Yeah,
Benji's.
you're
What was
right.
BJ's?
Yeah, you're right. You did get the drinks from BJ's, and the
Yes.
event would not have happened had it not been for those
Thank you.
6 bottles of Snapple.
First of
and
all,
lemon iced tea.
you don't have to be so,
So
kind.
I
It was
agree.
5 bottles, people. It was
5 bottles, yeah.
bottles.
Wow.
Which you needed help to
Yes.
for me to
Yes.
carry it
And-
across the garage
Yeah.
to the backyard. So I
And
No, 'cause
we appreciate you assisting me.
I could
Listen,
tell you're
assisting
being
you.
real because you knew that the store was called Benji's. Like, I know you're being
I
real.
was
It
like,
was-
what's I think it was
Listen, he
called
tries.
BJ's.
He
I don't know.
tries
The help
that.
boy.
I don't,
that
all I
help
know is
kid,
there's a
yeah.
lot of
tries.
there was like just it was so interesting to like
Very
break
hot
down
out.
this place to
Yeah.
was
Was it?
bifurcate this. It was like Hasidim and it was
Yeah.
Hicks and it was then there was Avery and I. It was
There's nothing more awesome than like the couple of Hasidim that show up to like a Litvisha event. like
that event was
like
nice.
Brooklyn and Muncie girls and like 2 Hasidim from Williamsburg like end up there. It's great.
Gotta give credit for trying.
You gotta give credit.
Wow.
Listen,
Okay.
they try.
Oh, I'm happy. Are you gentlemen joining us for the Build a Bias Shabbaton?
I'm waiting for
August 26th.
I'm waiting for the promo code.
Promo code. Here's the promo code.
50% off.
Here's the promo code. You ready? It's 375 Zell. That's the promo code. Just send that over. Just send that over.
Who's
Send
the
them
Shabbos guy this year?
Avery.
I'm going to be starring.
Avery.
as the,
Avery he needed a
lead
job.
Cast.
He's looking to kind of
Looking
like,
for
you know,
money.
make people know he's just,
Yeah.
you know,
casting
converted.
call.
He converted. He's
casting
actually now
call.
cousin Avery.
Here's the
Yeah.
question. A couple of people wanted to know, like campers,
Yeah.
if they could just put a tent up outside and pay like half the amount.
Do you see Avery? What would you tell these people? Avery, what would you tell them?
If they wanted to put a tent out outside
Outside the hotel, yeah.
and
Like
pay
a-
half.
Yeah.
All right, that's my extracurricular. We can do it. Why not?
Yosef,
And we'll
you're
tell
up.
people they're from Camp Simcha. It'll make us look better.
Oh my God, terrible.
We'll shave their heads. And we'll tell them. It'll
I
look
just
good.
had a
This
flash.
guy-
Cut that.
I just had a flashback.
Cut everything.
Back in Israel.
Got you.
Yosef, do
all.
you remember? I just had a
We're just gonna
flashback.
blur your face. That's all.
We're just gonna
Yosef,
blur.
you know
No,
back
blur
in
our
Israel-
faces. Let him be shown. Let them like find him.
I don't
You
care.
realize when
Oh, you're
certain,
sicko. You're sicko. The
certain
best
guys and
best
girls were
people.
out
Come on.
either late at night or engaging in activities they shouldn't. Like people would say, "What yeshiva or seminary are you in?" And there was always like the go-to.
Oh yeah.
You would say this one or that one. I'm not going to repeat.
Oh,
it
I
now,
remember
but-
that.
Right.
Yes, yes.
It's like I'm in blah. Okay.
Right. So
And,
like I went to May. So when we were in Teres Yaakov or like South Shore in the beginning, and they changed the name our second
Isn't that
year.
funny?
Literally, they would find us because like let's say we bought like a pack of cigarettes at the deli. We were on Central Avenue talking to girls, and they go, "What yeshiva are you in?" And I'd be like, "This yeshiva right here."
What bullshit?
No,
Because-
Yeah, I don't buy that either.
No,
Because these
okay, I'm
people-
kidding. We would tell them like DRS or Rambam. We would, oh, DRS.
No, not you.
Rambam,
What?
know?
What BS? Because these are the same people who, if
Oh,
you
God,
ask
I know
them,
for them, I
"Hey,
know.
Rabbi Stein, where did you get the money for that new gym? Where'd you get the money from for that new gym?" Well, I got it from the guy. Oh, what prison was he in? Otisville? Was he in Florida?
Wow.
And you're worried about who's talking to girls. You sickos.
And you know what?
Shots
And you know
fired.
what? I'm sure that guy who donated, I'm sure he talks during show also.
I'm sure he does.
And nobody shushes him. Nobody.
And all his kids are single and not married.
You know what they say?
Like, and
They say certain
and
shuls
he's
where when you
a tax scammer.
you know what they say certain shuls where when you come back from jail it's known you get an aliyah. So a guy gets called up one week and says, "All I got was a parking ticket."
Oh, that's what I would do.
That's funny.
All right, I think we can call it here. You know, it's a long run. Any ending thoughts for the people? Well, let me make the closings, okay? All right, episode 80. 80, guys.
What?
80 in the books. Yosef, you haven't been here since when? Like,
Episode 45.
Wow.
no, 48. 48. No, I know.
That's
Break
a very
up.
Zionistic
And
number.
you haven't Zionism, yeah. And you haven't been here since like episode
63.
50 something. 63?
Yep.
So I think you were 60 and he was 63. I think that was the numbers. All right, anyway, as I
He knows this offhand.
ladies and gentlemen, you can I'm busy backing up everything because our server's like
I think I figured out what he does. He just sits here all day and listens to them from 1 to 80, like on repeat.
I do with
Like,
you.
oh, that was a good joke on 13.
I do, but with your shidduch dates.
It's like, you know that
joke in real life.
you know the
He
burnt
can't
out.
hear you. They can't hear you on the
Yosef,
mic.
you know-
Oh, he's like,
They
you know,
can
he's
hear
like
you.
thinking about it. It's like, oh, wow, that's a good joke that I said in episode 13. Goes to like Central Avenue, starts workshopping the joke. Like, oh, okay. Like,
I once-
yeah, it
That's
was
what they
good.
work
It
I
was
once
good.
spent
Yeah,
2
yeah,
weeks
yeah.
working in a camp, and there was this really burnt out older single guy, like in
God.
his mid 30s, and it was during color, and I heard him on the phone, like, so the pitch of the red team was a little off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like
yeah.
he's
We are
out.
so, at least we're
By
past
the way,
that.
hold on a second. An idea, Shua. Take the podcast upstate. Let's critique camps. Like, wow, those 6-year-olds, they do not get sports. And like, let's do the whole like civil war. What is it? Color war.
Or you could just show up to Resorts World Casino and
Or-
say, Shabbos, like, buddy, you can't even pay your tuition. You should
So
not
when-
be doing
how
all that
about we go
blackjack
to
table.
Nevada?
When
and-
Epstein
how do we go
died,
to-
did you have to take him off of your resume, or was it like was it mutual?
No, you right
Anyway,
to cease.
this is the Nobody Talks Shidduch podcast. Thank you for being a part of our life. Smiley face, happy face, silly face. All right.
Wow.
Ouchies Media Network.